Do-it-yourself Brian here, and today we're going to change out a ballast in a fluorescent light. A lot of times ballasts will fail and the light won't light up properly. Either it won't light up at all, or it'll flicker, or it'll be real dim. Generally when you've got something like that going on and your bulbs are good, usually what's wrong is the ballast inside the lamp is bad. So what you need to do is remove the cover off, and once you get the cover off your light, you just remove the little centerpiece and you're going to have a ballast in there that you need to change out. Some key points when changing a ballast is to make sure when you purchase one that you get one for the particular bulbs that are in your fluorescent light. This one operates 1 or 2 bulbs. Some of them will operate 3 or 4 bulbs. In this particular light there's 2 bulbs in there. And then you also need to determine if it's a T8 or a T12 or what type of bulb that it is. In this case it's a T8 bulb in there, and there's 2 of them. So this ballast is going to operate T8 bulbs and also 2 of them. You can pick these up at virtually any hardware store for about 16 bucks. The tools that you'll need to change it out are really basic, just your standard screwdrivers, possibly a drill. And then as far as materials, typically you'll just reuse the wire nuts that are in there, but you may want to pick up some wire nuts, maybe some electrical tape, and of course your handy dandy flashlight, because you're going to be in the dark, and your razor knife. Every do-it-yourselfer should always have these at all times, makes every job a little bit easier. So basically this is what a ballast looks like. It has a wiring diagram on it so you can look and see what you're going to be doing and what you need to hook up. Essentially you have your input. This is your electricity and ground going into the ballast, and then you have your output, and these essentially go to the other lights and convert the energy over to make the fluorescent light work properly. So now we're going to change the light. Or we're going to change the ballast.
We're going to have dinner first.
Alright, today we are going to change the ballast in this laundry room light. The ballast has gone bad and it's causing a flickering going on in our laundry room. So we're going to open it up and change the ballast. We're getting ready to replace this ballast in this light here. One thing you definitely want to make sure you do is keep the light switch off, and possibly turn off your circuit breaker so you don't get electrocuted. To access the ballast, you need to pull these little tabs out from underneath these little holders that hold this thing in the center of the light together. Definitely remove your bulbs before you do it so you don't break them. And just kind of push these things over and then out. And what you're changing there is the ballast. So the first thing you want to do is unhook the wiring to it, take the ballast out, put the new ballast back in, and hook it all up. Okay, so I've got the old ballast out of this light fixture here, and I've put the new ballast up in here. I've just got it mounted up in here, and now I'm going to wire it up. This new ballast is a lot newer and a little bit different than the old ballast, so the wiring's a little bit different for this particular light fixture. So what you've got to do is you've got to make sure you look at the diagram on your new one real close to the old one to determine what wires need to go where. And I've determined here that this red wire needs to go over to these 2 yellow wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a basic set of needle nose and cut that wire and shorten it up a little bit. And And then also I'm going to use the same tool to strip them back. Typically it's nice to use actual wire strippers, but you can also use just your standard needle nose set of pliers when making these connections. Again, always make sure you've got your circuit breaker and switch turned off, and then twist the wires together. And typically I'll take a set of standard pliers and twist them together a little bit more so you've got a good nice twist there so that the wire is nice and tight before you put the wire nut on. So this side here, you've got this red wire that goes over to these two receptacles there for the light. And then essentially what we're going to do is you have your power and ground, your main power and ground that hook up into these. I'm going to trim these wires back and hook them up on this side as well. Some people don't trim the wire back, but that makes kind of a mess underneath there and harder to get the cover back on when you're trying to shove the wire or put the cover back on when you've got wires in the way. And these main ground and power wires, they're going to be of the same color. Hook the white to the white, black to the black. Twist them together. Okay, so we've got that side all done. Now on this particular ballast, it has one blue wire that comes out here and one blue wire that comes out here. And we're going to run this one blue wire over to this two set and this one blue over to the red. Being this is an older light fixture, you've got to do that with these wire colors. You're just going to want to pay special note on the diagrams of both the ballasts so you can make sure you do this right. You could trim them back like that, strip them all, and put them together. Okay, so we got the new ballast wired up here. We've trimmed up the wires. We've got it in there correctly. Now you've just got to put this cover back on. Start by wedging the one side underneath the little tabs there. Get them all into place on the one side, and then just pinch it. And then take your light bulbs. Twist them into place.
I know.
Okay, hit the switch. It works. No more issue. No more crazy flashing. It works properly.